Well, what's happening? And welcome back to another episode of Talking Tactics. This week we're going to be breaking down the strawweight matchup between number 5 ranked Mackenzie Dern against the number 6 ranked Yan Xiaonan. This is your classic grappler versus striker matchup where each woman is a little bit stronger where the other one is still developing. I think this is going to be an exciting fight where the game plan's pretty clear for both women. One's going to be looking to get it to the ground and look for the sub, while the other one's going to be looking to keep the distance and keep it standing. So let's pull up the tail of the tape here and we'll have a quick look at the stats. We've got Mackenzie Dern, who's 12-2, versus Yan Xiaonan, who's 15-3-1 with one no contest. In their last four, Mackenzie's 3-1, where Yan's 2-2. She is coming off, I would say, a close decision loss to Marina Rodriguez. I think she actually scraped it in that fight. I think she got the win. But regardless, she didn't. So 2-2. Both are similar height, 5'4" and 5'5". Yan is the older fighter at 33 versus 29 for Mackenzie. Both have the same reach at 63 inches, and both girls are from the orthodox stance. There's very little switching going on between the two girls. They normally stick to the orthodox stance and keep it a little bit more traditional. Technically, how do I see the fight going? Well, we know Mackenzie is a world-class level black belt. She's a multiple-time world champion in BJJ, and she's the strawweight leader for submissions. So we know what her game's going to be built around, and we know that she's going to be wanting to try and push this fight to the mat where she has the big advantage over the developing ground game of Yan. That being said, Yan is definitely the more powerful striker, definitely has better boxing, and likes to really try and chain those combinations together and throws her punches and bunches. I think she's going to need to keep this fight at distance, and she's going to have to try and keep Mackenzie away with her good jabs and with that lead leg side kick that she's very good at as well. I think that using those types of weapons is going to try and keep Mackenzie away from her. And try and keep that distance where then she can start letting the hands go. Mackenzie, although her striking is definitely getting better, she has a tendency to overreach and crash in on her combinations, which I think could leave her exposed against Yan, and that's something that's just definitely going to have to be careful with. Someone who's going to throw the punches and bunches like Yan, then Mackenzie's going to need to be very careful, as she does have a tendency to get hit. She actually, on average, gets hit 4.35 significant strikes per minute in a fight, so that is quite a lot of strikes to be taken. So she's going to have to be very careful against Yan, who is going to be throwing those combinations in 4s and 5s, and if Mackenzie's not careful, she could definitely get caught in there, and that's where I think that Yan is going to have the advantage. Getting this fight to the floor is where I think it's going to be very interesting. Mackenzie Dern doesn't mix in a lot of takedowns in the open. She's not shooting doubles and trying to take you down out in the open. She's relying a lot more on throws and trips and catching kicks. And also, if she's struggling to get you down against the cage, she will pull guard. She uses that unbelievable ground game, and she has so much confidence in it that if she can't get you down through a takedown, then she'll be very willing to pull guard. And even in some instances, which we're going to see in the clips in a minute, that when she even fails with a takedown and ends up on bottom, it suits her to be on the ground anyway, and it's not that big of a deal if the takedown failed and she ended up on the bottom. So I just want to have a look at a couple of clips here, and we'll look at a bit of fight footage to try and break down some positions a wee bit further. Like I said, I would like to see Mackenzie using her more out in the open wrestling rather than trying to push Yan against the fence. I think Yan's much better at defending takedowns against the fence and is a little bit more open to be taken down out in the open wrestling. So we'll just have a look at some of these clips so you can see. So Claudia's going to get a lovely entry here to double unders. Yan tried to get herself to the fence there, but Claudia done a great job of turning her around, hitting a nice inside trip and securing the takedown. So again, if she had got to the fence, she may have been able to stop that takedown, but a great job by Claudia there to be able to reverse it, turn her away and get the inside trip. Here you're going to see Yan throw an absolutely naked kick with no setup, no feint behind it, and it's easily caught for Claudia to grab it and run the pipe off a nice single leg. And it's pretty much the exact same position here against Carla Esparza. She throws a naked kick, Carla catches the leg, gets to a single leg, runs the pipe here and secures the takedown quite easily actually as well. Now what we're going to see here is another takedown from Carla Esparza out in the open. The difference between Carla and Mackenzie Dern is one is a wrestler and the other is the BJJ style grappler. I do want to see Mackenzie using more out in the open wrestling. As you've seen here, Carla had a lot of success with it. So Yan overreaches on her right hand, which allows Carla to get in on the hips and secure a nice double leg. She nearly gets up, but a good re-secure and into a nice dominant position. So here we're going to see Claudia Gadelha against Yan again, this time on the fence, where she's much better at defending the takedown. She's got nice heavy hips, using short shots and knees, and always swimming her back against the fence so that she's never getting pushed flat and allowing them to really drive into her. So you see here, Claudia tries a high crotch. She's got nice heavy hips, Yan, a couple of short shots to separate the hands, and then right away she's on those knees and staying active in the clinch with nice heavy hips and trying to scrape herself out there. She's always looking to defend against the fence, and she is quite good at defending there. This is what I want to see more from Yan, using more of her long distance striking, using that lead hand, pawing with a jab, sending that side kick out there to try and keep Mackenzie Dern at range, which is what she does very well here against Claudia Gadelha. So she's popping that jab, circling left and right, always moving laterally. And as you see there, if you enter the pocket against Yan, she will be more than willing to oblige and throw back in there. She has great boxing, and I've said before, she throws those punches in bunches. Using the distance, circling left and right again, peeling her around. As you see here, she uses a lovely side kick, which is going to be able to keep Claudia away and makes Claudia completely reset. These are the type of shots that if she uses these against Dern, it might stop that forward pressure and forward momentum of Dern and keep her at distance, where then she's going to be reaching on those punches and reaching on those takedowns. And if you look here, look at the distance between these two that was created off that side kick. It made Claudia completely reset, and now she has a lot of distance to try and cover again to get to the next takedown. And it's worth noting that after those first initial two out in the open takedowns, she didn't get Yan down again for the rest of the fight. Just let this play on here. So here we're going to see Mackenzie go for a throw, which fails, and she ends up on bottom, but she uses that superior grappling just to reverse the position and get back on top again. So even if she does try for a takedown or a throw or whatever and it ends up on bottom, it suits her to be on the ground regardless. So let's have a look. So she tries this throw, which fails, and straight away she's on the underhooking the leg and elevating Marina up to try and start attacking that leg, which Marina kind of has to respect and rolls there back, which then gives the top position to Mackenzie Dern. So yes, it was a failed takedown, but she's ended up on top from it. I'll just let these play on. Here you're going to see Mackenzie Dern is chaining these submissions together constantly. If you're on the ground against Mackenzie Dern, you are in danger. You see here against Tecia Torres, she was on the arm initially, and then now she's going to switch and start attacking the legs here. So she's trying to push Tecia over here to try and create like a sweep, and she has the underhook on the leg. What that's going to do is when she rocks her forward, like now, is expose the hip and allows her to try and join those feet together and start attacking the knee. Good defense here so far by Tecia, but like it's just a matter of time before she's putting you in more and more danger. She doesn't actually get this, but it's close. There now, as soon as she's onto that knee, the knee's in big danger, and if it's not working right away and she realizes it's tough, look at that, she's attacking the toe hold right away. So she's always attacking submissions and putting you in danger. Have said Mackenzie's striking is developing. It wouldn't be the strongest part of her game, but she's working with good coaches and her game is definitely improving. Her striking is developing. It wouldn't be the strongest part, but if she can use it to try and get to the takedown, that's all she really needs. She's not looking to turn herself into a striker. It's to complement her grappling. Just let this play. She's using good kicks into punches against Tecia Torres, who would be the superior striker. So we'll just pull up here and have a quick look at the style stats. So 10:57 average fight time for Mackenzie to 14 minutes and 7 seconds for Yan. 7 wins by sub for Mackenzie, no surprise there, with 1 for Yan. 6 wins by TKO KO for Yan and none coming for Mackenzie. Again, she is still developing that striking. Wins by decision, 5 for Mackenzie and 7 for Yan. Neither women have lost by sub, and only Yan has been stopped once by KO. So no finishes for Mackenzie Dern at all. She's never been finished. Significant strikes per minute, 3.16 for Mackenzie versus 5.66 for Yan. She is a high output and has the 4th highest output for significant strikes in strawweight history. Takedown average, 1.06 for Yan and then 0.46 for Mackenzie Dern. So although she has a lot of submissions and she is always looking for the sub and to get the fight to the ground, like I said, she isn't using a lot of wrestling. A lot of it comes from failed takedowns, trips, caught kicks and things like that, and she will also pull guard as well. So if she feels like she's failing on the takedown, she will be more than willing to pull guard and stay in bottom because she knows how dangerous she is there as well. In terms of my prediction, I feel like Mackenzie Dern's going to submit Yan within 2 rounds. I know that it might be difficult for her to get her down, and I feel like that's going to be the deciding factor. Can she get Yan down, or can Yan keep it on the feet? I feel like if it stays on the feet, Yan will definitely have the advantage, but if it goes to the ground, no doubt about it, I just don't think that Yan's ground game is anywhere near the level of Mackenzie Dern's, and it would only be a matter of time before she would submit her. So it really depends on if she can get her down and how much time is left in the round when she does get her down, or if she gets her down. So that's it for today's episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next big breakdown is going to be on the UFC 280 card, which I am really looking forward to. If you've liked what you've seen today, remember to give this video a wee like. It really helps me out. And if you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much.